Hey everybody, it's Caroline here. Sorry for my painted hands. I've been painting today, but I had to stop what I was doing because I'm so excited about this video. I actually wanted to share the man behind the idea of this lady starting her OMAD journey. I have been doing OMAD, one meal a day, for the past 60 plus days, and this gentleman that I'm doing an interview with is actually the man who motivated me to get there, and he is actually my son Ted. I love him dearly. He lives down in South Carolina. We don't get to see each other a whole lot, but we stay in contact via phone and now Skype, so that's pretty cool. But he is a very, very big influence in me. We talk a lot about health, nutrition, because he knows I'm always battling the bulge, and he is really somebody who is open to new ideas, and he's always checking for new healthier ways of living life, and that's one thing I love about him. He is a very spiritual young man and very wise beyond his years, and he has become a really dear friend of mine. But so I'm so excited, and this is the interview with the man behind OMAD Caroline. So, hey Ted, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Hot.
Yeah, so as you know, I started this whole YouTube channel doing my OMAD journey because when I first started it, I was like, I don't know if it's going to work for me. And the reason why I didn't know if it was going to work for me, because you have watched me firsthand juggle with my weight, like ups and downs. And I think I've been fat for probably the last decade. But if you remember me before Fat Mom, do you recall what were the differences in that mom than when I started gaining the weight? Can you actually pinpoint my life and what changed in it?
I'm terrible with timelines, but I mean, Kayla sent me a picture not too long ago of a picture probably when I was like 10 and she was 12.
Right.
And and it had you and Dad super fit in it. And yeah, I remember when y'all were doing those little triath races and whatnot.
Yeah. So a lot of it was it was a lot of activity. Like Dad and I were constantly working out in that. Dad and I, as soon as we slowed down on the working out, I mean, we would balloon up so freaking fast and keep gaining weight. So, and then when I had to give the kidney to Grandma a couple of years ago, I just buckled down, lost 50 pounds, gave a kidney, but then climbed right back. And then last Mother's Day, Ted, I was down to 185. We did a 5K race as a family. So I know all this calorie in, calorie out is not working for me, and I need to find, and I think I come to the conclusion that I am no longer going to attach working out and fitness to weight loss. I think that just needs to be a part of my life for a heart healthy, and I need to disconnect that from weight loss. But anyways, so getting into OMAD, when you kind of enlightened me to OMAD, I really dug deep, and the evidence is so there about how intermittent fasting is the best thing for you, just because that time down is healing, and it's allowing your body to take the time. It's not busy digesting food that you're constantly putting in, and it's giving it time to work off of your fat stores and actually, kill those bad cells and produce newer cells. So it's busy benefiting your body instead of being so busy eating. So what I want you to do is maybe talk a little bit about what your work week looks like, because the thing I totally love about OMAD, it is different for everybody. You can adjust it for your life, and I think that one thing about you is you didn't really shove OMAD down my throat. We just always talk about what we're doing for fitness and health, and you're a really good example of it. I mean, you tell me when you start feeling lethargic. So I just want you to share what yours, because I know my OMAD journey looks different, because me, once I get my set, I'm like, I will not waver.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
because I had originally, I just heard about intermittent fasting on a podcast, and I looked into that, and then uh, yeah, then the most extreme version was the OMAD, but because I only looked into it just because when I was living in Charleston, I gained not a lot of weight, but I gained a big belly because of all the food all my stops were giving me. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to work out just because I work like 50-hour weeks, and my job's mostly lifting and not like cardio, so I wasn't getting burning my fat. So I looked into that, and I was doing OMAD at first, but it was too much for me with working a 12-hour day, lifting constantly throughout the whole day. By the end of it, I'd be very like lightheaded and out of it, and just very pissy. I'd be very mad all the time, and I can't stand that.
Yeah, and you bringing that up, I dealt with that for I've been doing it for 9 weeks now, but swear 4 of those weeks, I went from being irritable in the beginning to actual I got moody and cry, and I just had to,
Yeah.
stuck with the program. But I can't imagine, depleting, if you guys don't know, my son is actually a delivery guy for a big milk company, and so he's constantly physically, his day, I swear he's got to be burning. How many calories do you think you burn? I know we talk about
I don't know calories.
but it's got to be crazy, so I can understand how going down. I mean, could you really sit down and eat enough nutrients in one sitting to get you through the day? That's the logic you need to look at.
Yeah, I guess that's basically it. I guess that is it. Why I couldn't eat just one meal a day, because it's just there's no way I would, throughout the next 24 hours of 12 hours of heavy lifting, you're gonna get fried by the last 10 hours of it.
Right.
So anyway, so now I just dropped it down to I try to do a 20-hour fasting window and a 4-hour eating window. That way, and I'm usually pretty good with that. So basically, when I get off work, I'll have some beef jerky and some nuts or something to eat on the ride home. So that way, I'm not pissy when I get home. Just because it's like when you got to cook and all that stuff, I need a little something to snack on, and then so I'll just have that snack and then just one meal, and that's it. Maybe some fruit or stuff later on, but so that's what I've been doing. I fall off time to time, and especially this last week, I kind of basically took the week off and have been eating normally, and my stomach has not been used to it, and I've actually been excited to get back to fasting just because my stomach.
Just for the well-being of how you feel, right?
Yeah, I have a clearer head, and I don't know. Ever since I started fasting in general, it makes me kind of hate food, because whenever I eat it, I'm tired after, you get all just want to take a nap.
Right.
So it's when your stomach's just digesting the whole day, you can just, you can listen to your body and be like, oh, I'm never at 100% here. So I'm glad I'm back on it, honestly.
And luckily for you, you've got Laura. Our family, it seems has totally always surrounded our activities around food. Seriously, we come from a family of foodies and, snacks and sugar. And luckily, I think your wife came from kind of the opposite. She really was never a snacker, very healthy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She doesn't get let's go get dessert or ice cream.
Oh yeah.
And don't you think that it's it's easy for you to transition into that, because she's already kind of an intermittent faster. She just doesn't know it. Doesn't it feel like that?
Well, yeah, totally. It was easy transition for me, because when we moved to Atlanta, we only ate at night when I got home from work. And yeah, so we've been one meal a day people, not because we were like for any particular reason, just because Laura just never ate that much.
Right.
And so yeah, it was pretty easy to actually keep the window to a certain limit. But and obviously on weekends we would go out and stuff more, but it's just,
you're going out and kind of splurging. You and Laura are probably a good day on my and Dad's normal life. So like I think that it's really a blessing, when you have that is
because her, because her mom always cooked the healthiest food, all organic type stuff, and so she always ate super healthy. It's like when I was first, I brought my own snacks over of Cheetos and Sprite and Skittles and Twinkies and stuff, just because I'd got a sweet tooth and whatnot. So it was a huge blessing to have her to actually make my eating. And me, I was a picky eater my whole life.
Right.
That's
it was funny because like I always growing up, I cooked for you guys, but I always just cooked what you guys wanted. You know what I mean? So, and the sad thing is half the time, it was like macaroni and cheese. You know what I mean? I never forced you guys on anything, but then I'm like, it didn't really expand you guys trying healthier foods. So like, I'm trying to be a mom that I'm not forcing you to eat what you don't want. You put on your plate, finish what you want. I'm not forcing you, but in the other way, it's kind of I kind of wish I would have brought you guys up a little bit more healthy, because we wouldn't be dealing with the whole, weight gain and keeping it off, like you are, out of our little core nuclear family, you're the one that handles his weight much better. But I do think it's a reflection of you and Laura's lifestyle.
Well, yeah, it's totally that, because it really is that. You can tell just because I'm sure if I kept my same diet and whatnot, that I would be a lot heavier. It's just just like you were saying, the more you eat healthier food, you'll want to eat healthier food. You'll crave that. It's like,
right?
I still got a sweet tooth, but it's not. I like when it comes to actual meal, for the most part, I want it to be, something healthy.
Right. And it's funny, you get the sweet tooth from Dad, just so you know.
Yeah.
But because it's funny, because like I was telling you yesterday when we talked, I said I am like craving vegetables. Like I could not wait to, when I worked the kids at shop, to swing by Meyer, grab squash and zucchini and grill that up. Like I was more excited about the squash and zucchini than the steak that was coming, So I do think your taste buds start changing and what you want, and I'm kind of excited about it. But anyways, I just want to thank you for getting on OMAD, getting me, looking at OMAD. I love what's happening, but is it funny? I'm not a believer yet. And I think it's mainly because I've always gained back the weight. So I'm looking forward to seeing, where I'm going to be. I do feel like this is totally something I can do for the rest of my life. I think when I get to that healthier weight, Ted, I'm going to kind of expand my window where me and Dad have the same window, because Dad's intermittent fasting. How freaking awesome is that, So
yeah, and especially if you just do like a 18-6 window, it's like that's that's easy. Well, it's like you skip breakfast and you cut out the snacking.
Yeah, and that's and Dad, I see him going through, like, he's doing great, but he's struggling with the non-snacking, and I'm so glad I'm over that. I know I jumped into OMAD Extreme. I went from normal, what my normal bad eating habits, right into OMAD, and it was hell for the first 30 days, I have to say. It was more hell than not, but now I don't even crave when somebody's snacking in front of me. I don't really crave anything. And sometimes I find, like, lately, Ted, I've been like doing appetite, correction. I've been stopping eating when I feel full. And I I expanded my window to 4 hours, and I will keep my meal. And if I'm hungry a little bit later, I'll finish my meal. So it's still the one meal, but I've never had to do it, and I'm not famished the next day. So
Yeah, and you said you've been losing more weight with that,
yeah,
right?
I have been.
Yeah.
I try to not think about calories in, calories out. I'm just trying to say, okay, what's working for me? I did 2 days of pizza though, and he brought that, and because you only eat one meal a day, it's sitting in your fridge, So we ate it again yesterday, and I just told Dad, I'm like, listen, tomorrow I need something healthy. It satisfied my appetite, but it's crazy that I would pick veggies and chicken over a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
That's like the nice thing about OMAD is, or even if you have a 20-hour 4 window, you can basically eat whatever you want to, but because you want a cheat day time to time to have pizza and
Right.
stuff, or else what's the point of living
Right.
without that? But for the most part, it's like I've learned that my body, it's like, yeah, if I just I could eat, like if I do a 20-hour window, or a 4-hour eating window, and just eat just meat, fruits, and veggies, and cut out the freaking bullshit, that I would be totally fine. Like that's what your body wants. Maybe some rice, but like when it comes to all that bread and crap, like that's what gets you.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. Like I've been following she's actually from the UK, and it's Sandra. She does the carnivore diet, and she moved right into OMAD with ease. Like she went from carnivore, just like eating all meat, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna do OMAD, and she is like just like not having an issue. And I really think it's all that bread and carbohydrate reduction that gives you all of the stress, because I'm just like, you're doing freaking awesome. My first week, I was like, I am dying. And she's just like, nope, it was easy. It's been easy. She's on day 9 with no issues, She's like, she craves ice cream, but it's in her mind. It's not her appetite craving,
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the carnivore diet and whatnot, and shit, I would love to do it sometime, but it just works so much.
And I guess
I bet you I would probably flourish with it if I did do it for like a month.
I do. But I think you would too. But what I love about OMAD though is like you can kind of embrace any diet with OMAD. So like if you want to do keto, and if you want to do carnivore, if you want to be a vegetarian, it all works with intermittent fasting. You just got to figure out what's best for your body, what's going to get the better results. But intermittent fasting is a must. Like I realize it is where it's at, and you pick the pace you want to lose by the food you're choosing. So
I just love it because it just makes perfect sense. It's like all the other diets, they try to explain it in all these different ways, and you're like, is that, and then your body gets accustomed to these diets, and then they stop working. While OMAD is just simple. It's like your body's eating your fat or intermittent fasting and OMAD, your body's eating the fat for energy. It's that simple. There's no way of getting around it, so it's always going to work. Like you might not be dropping as much as other people are, but you're going to be dropping weight because you have to burn the fat.
And what I think too is like the weight you're dropping is actual fat weight.
Yeah.
It's actual fat. Because I think the first 2 weeks of OMAD, you're getting rid of that water weight. I'm weighing 212, and I can put my wedding band back on. I've never been able to wear my wedding band at 212. So you can just tell that it's gotten rid of all that holding on to, you're not bloated anymore and everything. So it's all, so when that scale drops, it is fat. But so tell me about your fasting time, Ted. Are you a total clean faster? Like, are you just strictly water? Are you totally clean?
Oh. Yeah, what I'll do, because I used to drink like a whole pot of coffee a day, but then people say that breaks your fast if you drink too much coffee. So I'll just have like a cup of black coffee in the morning and have like a small thermos. Just I'll have this thermos just full, which is not that
Okay.
big.
Yeah, that's not that big.
I'll just have that and drink that throughout the day, just because I wake up at 4 in the morning, so I need some coffee, and then just water, and that's it.
Right.
Like, I don't mess with anything else. And then when I get home, like I said, I'll have some jerky on the way home. I'll have my electrolyte drink, and then just eat whatever I have. Like I said, I'll have a 20-hour fasting window and a 4-hour eating window,
Do
and
you
it's usually around the same time.
do you use any like fasting apps, or you just kind of just play your window by ear?
Yeah, I just play it by ear.
So sometimes it's a longer fast, sometimes it's a shorter fast, depending on your day. Or do you try to really make sure you get to that 20?
It's usually around it. I mean, it's like, because I just normally, like, I get off work around 3:30, so I'll try to stop eating at before 8 or 7:30. If I get off at 4, I'll stop eating at 8 and whatnot. But sometimes it goes a little further if we cook later or whatnot. But
Okay.
it's just I'm only eating a meal, so
Right.
if it does go a little over, it's not a big deal.
Right. Like the first 3-4 weeks of OMAD, it's like I've got to be eating at 4, and I felt like it put stress on me. So I quit doing that like after my first 30 days and was like, you know what? I'm going to adjust my window to what my day looks like. So like Friday, Kayla and I went down to Columbus. I was babysitting Toronto's for them. So we had to hit the road. Well, we went and saw Dad at 11 o'clock. So I moved my window at 11 on Friday. And then by the time I hit the road to come back home Saturday, I had hit 30-hour fast,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's okay. And the thing is I started getting hungry right about then, but there's days where I feel like, oh, I'm not really hungry yet. So I'm going to push it to a 24-hour fast. And or there's some days like I'm hungry, so I only have an 18-hour fast. So I've been feeling a freedom that way. I just was wondering if you try to make sure you fast for 20 hours at least.
No, I'm pretty loose with it. I mean, it's always just around that. It's like, yeah, if I have a day where I'm like really, it's just, because sometimes I'll go to the park for a walk or a run, and then by the time I get back, it's, I don't start cooking till 7 or
Okay.
or 7:30. So then, by the time, it might go over, it might be shorter. I just need to get back to sticking to it, because I'll probably do it like 4 days out of the week right now, and I used to do it 5 days out of the week. But and then like on the weekend still mostly do it, maybe have just like a light breakfast. But I think I just need to cut out all the crap, because I mean, I am basically, it's just, yeah, I just think like the breads and stuff, because I would just like to get it to where, I just have super low body fat. Like, there's still some body fat I want to lose. And, I love running, so I just want to get back into running. And the thing is, if I just did what I do today, every day, then my fat I would have barely any fat on me. But
Right. Yeah. Well, that's where we're at. Both trying to figure out what's best for us. So I think one thing about it is like it's always changing. Like and I think that's good, because you got to listen to what you need and figure out, okay, these are the new results I want. So what do I need to do to get there? So, but anyways, do you want to say anything to the subscribers?
Well, I guess since everyone's interested in OMAD, obviously all of them, I think the big thing is, it's like, if you're doing it, I mean, intermittent fasting in general is fantastic, but if you have a physical job, OMAD's going to be a real bitch. So like 20 and 40 or 20 and 4 is where I find comfort. But like I think what they say 16 and 8 is good.
Yeah,
too.
you start seeing results at with 16-8. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's just the key, man. It's just cut out the breakfast and cut out the snacks. And it's like, especially at first, you're gonna definitely be mood swingy. It's like, and I still am like that. You get mood swings because you're starving. Your body's starving and it's eating itself. So when little things piss you off, it's gonna make you more mad, or you're gonna be more upset about stuff. So
Right.
it's like, you just see so many people acting like OMAD's this wonder drug that makes you feel like $1 million all the time, and sometimes it sucks.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. And that's
yeah,
the whole purpose of me wanting to do the journey, is because I had a really difficult time finding women my age that are going through it and actually saying, hey, I'm dealing with this. Because,
oh, exactly, that too.
you know, and to say, okay, she got through this. It took her a month, but now she's feeling good about it. So that was the main reason. I just wanted transparency, authenticity, and I'm glad you said that, because I thought it was a woman thing. And then when you say it, I think it's dealing with both, you know, men and women are going through those swings. Guys may get a little more pissy, girls may get a little more cryy, you know. So
Yeah,
anyway.
it's just ridiculous to think that you're not going to get mood swings. You're obviously gonna. You're starving. You're irritable. You know,
Yeah.
like, but and what else? But yeah, it's awesome what you're doing, is because you're showing, you're having a video log of you going throughout the whole thing, which is great. And also, you don't see women your age doing it, and because when you look up OMAD, it's some ripped 20-year-old or 25-year-old, talking about how it's perfect.
Right.
Right?
So, yeah, but well, thanks, Ted. I love you. I know you're busy. Thanks for spending your lunchtime with me, but I love you so much, and I don't know where I'd be without you. You're like my guru, you know. So you're wise beyond your years, young man.
Right, so.
All right, honey. I love you.
All right, love you too.